had a completely different video planned, which I'll do in a couple of weeks or something, but I just wanted to kind of make this one just to kind of highlight how something took me completely by surprise, which was great actually. So just a bit of kind of backstory. I run a lot, I like running, I enjoy walking the dog, and so I work long shifts on my feet, and in November I injured my hip running a marathon, so I haven't been able to run for like 3 months, which got me down quite a lot, but you know, it was fine. I knew I needed to rest and do what I needed to do to kind of stay positive and things, and I learnt a lot of lessons from it. So then I came up on holiday for a week to see my friend and her daughter, and we were out riding the horses a couple of days, and it was lovely, and we had really nice weather actually, it was great. And then on, I think it was Friday morning, I actually ran across the field. I can't remember why, I think I was just seeing if I could run without it hurting, and almost cried because it didn't hurt. And I was so excited that I genuinely, so let's go through this gate, genuinely could have cried with how happy I was. Can't believe. So yeah, so I'd fully planned like right the next day I'm gonna go for a really slow run with the dog and just test it out, and I was, like I say, super excited. So we went out riding, got packed up, came back, and very annoyingly was kind of playing in the field with my friend's daughter, and sadly fell off the horse, which resulted in me breaking my collarbone in quite a nasty way. So yeah, there went my plan of going for a run the next day. So to cut a very long story short, I've been back and forth up and down the country, it feels like, to get it operated on. I've now had surgery, and it's going to be, at least according to the doctors, another 6 weeks, if not like 6 to 12 weeks, whether if I can run again, never mind doing any kind of going to the gym. It also meant that I had to be opened up, which meant on the front of me quite a long scar, or what I thought was going to be, you know, not too long, but I just thought, oh, it's fine. And they said, you know, you're going to have a scar and you might be able to see the bump from where, so they basically had to put a plate down it and screw that plate in. So as a result, I just kind of said, yeah, it needs fixing. I want the full use of my arm again. Kind of weighed up the pros and cons and thought it'll be fine. It's just a scar and a bit of bump, and you know, it's not the end of the world. And it just caught me the other day. I'm actually back up in Yorkshire now, another road trip. Me not driving, can I just say? It was quite weird. So the other day I changed the dressing, and I'll put some pictures on the video as well. And I took the dressings down. As you might be aware, I'm actually a nurse myself, and so I took it down to change the dressings and just check, and actually looked at the scar and thought, wow, that is bigger and uglier and much more Frankenstein looking than I actually anticipated. And for a split second I was a bit, oh, have I made the right decision? But then it was quite bizarre. All of a sudden I was kind of overwhelmed, which is why, you know, this was a couple of days ago. It's taking me a little while to do the video, but I was really quite overwhelmed with what I can only describe as gratitude. And I just felt so grateful. And I was grateful, and I don't know why it was kind of taking the dressings down that made that happen, but I really wanted to share it because it completely took me by surprise. I thought I was just going to be annoyed and look at it, and despite all the work that I do on myself and also for the business and reading and that kind of thing, it completely, yeah, kind of knocked me for six as to how none of that happened, and I was just so overwhelmed with the feelings of gratefulness. And I think when I sat and kind of really thought about it, I was grateful that I was okay, and actually it could have been a lot worse. I was super grateful that the horse was okay, he's fine. He simply fell over. It was just a bit, I can't lift his arm up here. Yeah, he just fell over, so he just kind of recuperated slowly and it was fine. But not only that, I was so grateful for the fact that I had friends around me that, you know, a friend that I just called upon who gave me a lift to the hospital. I was grateful for knowing what was going on at the hospital. I was grateful for the friend that then gave me a lift in my van with my dog and my cat, because they were with me on holiday, down to my dad's house. And I was super grateful for the fact that my dad and my stepmom kind of took me in. And you may think, well, of course they would, but it's a big thing having kind of your 30-year-old daughter move in with her dog and cat and kind of impose on your life for nearly 2 weeks, it turned out. And they gave me lifts to the appointments, and you know, their friends who were really nice, and bless her, my stepmom kind of cooked for me and just made sure I didn't have to do anything, despite my stubbornness of wanting to. It's a bit excited today. And how grateful I was for my friend to then come and get me back and drive me another 4 hours up the road to come back to Yorkshire so I could look after my friend's daughter, or kind of be around for my friend's daughter because I really need looking after. And we've had some amazing conversations as well, and yeah, it just was completely overwhelming with how grateful I was for the friends that I have, the family that I have, for the life that I live, the fact that I'm in a position where I do have to work, don't get me wrong, but I had a bit of a cushion, so that made it a lot easier. And whilst I've been off, I've got so much done, and I had time to rest my leg more, my arm more, do some work on the videos, do some work on the channels, do some more reading. I got a new job, which again, had I done the interview having done some night shifts, I might not have been so awake. So yeah, it was quite bizarre, and I'm really quite surprised even at my own reaction, and especially with everything going on at the moment over in Russia and Ukraine. You kind of forget how lucky I am and how lucky we are, and how fortunate it is that I live where I live, and that I do have a roof over my head, and I have food on the table, and I'm surrounded by people that love me so much, and people who I love so much. And I think this scar is just going to be a reminder of the 4 weeks, and a reminder to remain grateful and to be thankful and not to take anything for granted. And I think it was really important to me to kind of document that, really. So yeah, I think just have a little think, maybe sit down, sit back and think about what you're really grateful for. Maybe even write it down, because honestly it was amazing, and this scar's just going to be a reminder of that. And yeah, it'll go down, and yeah, it'll annoy me that I can't run for a bit, but for everything that it has brought me, I can't really be annoyed. And the whole time, the whole 4 weeks pretty much, bar a few days, it's been glorious weather, and I don't often get to enjoy the sunshine. Being a night shift worker and working a lot of hours. So yeah, just think of some things that you're grateful for. Take care.